Hello and welcome to this edition of Blue Belt on Blue Belt Crime. This time with one of my training partners, John, who's on the cusp of purple with 4 stripes of blue belt. It's been a while since we've rolled together, and he's agreed to record this roll. And so let me give a shout out to all those who've agreed to record. It's not always the easiest thing to be filmed while you're training, and so a huge thank you to all of who's participated in these videos. And so anyway, here we're just kind of mucking around here, or at least I am. This towards the end of the roll, and my gas tank is nearly fully depleted. Just tried to do a little step around there, but I left too much space, and then I used that underhook on that side to spin around. And so here I actually have a specific goal. I am working on an omoplata, and I know John is working on a butterfly sweep. And so here I'm just kind of frustrating him. And I'm just here kind of like, this is the equivalent of the UFC when they have fence fighting and the guys just kind of holding up underhooks and just sitting there and not moving, just pressing their head against the chin and then just waiting for a separation. But that's kind of the equivalent here. Pretty confident that I can annoy his butterfly sweep attempts. But he's got an annoying grip in that my right arm, and so that's what I'm trying to address now. And so try to step around that leg, and he steps up with me. But here, this little cute little belly to belly suplex, but let him down easily there. That's the protect your training partner principle. It's a great principle to have. And so here, like I was saying, trying to work on the omoplata. So I was trying to get him to turn to his side, so then I can look to getting that arm. And so here he's turned on to his knees, and so I'm just trying to control him from the top. Here I'm trying to see if I can feint like an anaconda to get him to overextend with the arm, but he's trying to poke his head out. And so I go around to the side, and I spin around with him, just basically trying to get him to overextend an arm, but then he tries to take me down in the double leg, and so we stand up. So we're basically grip fighting. He's pushing into me, I'm pushing to him, trying to do like a push-pull reaction. And then he tries that on me. And I was like, I was trying to do that to him, but he beat me to the punch. But anyway, we're back right where we started. Me and Top and him working from an open guard. And so he's got to control me, and he's trying to work that butterfly again. He's trying to pull me down and just kind of not letting him, and just being kind of heavy on my heels here. And so here, got a hand collar, feint a loop choke to get him to go to his back to avoid being choked. And so now begin that passing sequence again. And here, I'm just really stupid watching this, and like, why did I not block the hips? I was so focused on trying to control his upper body, I forgot the hips, tried to dive to the mount now, and then end up getting half guarded, but I've got an arm, which I wanted to do. It's not very good, and he's trying to get to the dogfight position while I'm getting up the hand. I'm overhooking that arm, and so now we're in this position. He's trying to take me down, but I feel I've got an arm, so now I'm going to omoplata again, but it's loose. It's just scrappy. Oh my goodness. And John is in this case, he's a lot fitter than me, and so I tried to go for Kimura, and he's locked his hand. But I was just trying to go for an omoplata in that arm. But think about it now, I've done it before where if they lock their hands, you can attack the other arm with other attacks. And then looking at this now, I'm thinking, oh, you idiot. But hey, when you're tired, you don't think, you forget things. And so I'm just basically using this Kimura thing to threaten him and to see if I can come up on top, which is what I'll do if I can get my hip above his head. And so that's what happens, and he's got this single leg on me, but I just sprawl heavy on the hip and put him back onto the turtle, and we're in this position again. So here, just keeping upper body control, trying to get him to threaten that arm, and so then he hyperextends it, and so I thought I could come around. I could let him come around so I can keep that control on his right arm, but it was loose, and I ended up getting, I think I'm in half guard at this point, so it's not the right position for me. And so we're kind of off screen, but I come back trying to bring us back to the center, and then he dives into De La Hiva. So just trying to off balance him here, trying to play with a De La Hiva footlock, which I got earlier, but it didn't quite work. So then as he's coming up, I try a footlock on the other leg, but then he controls my hip and then distances away. And he decides to think he can mop the mats with my back, and so he drags me along the floor. Here, this is just me being lazy and just mucking around, seeing if he's going to try come into an inverted guard, but I couldn't be bothered doing that. So here, just squaring up, kind of getting a breath back, and mucking around the legs. And he steps around to the side and tries to take side control, but I push him back, and then I frame on his hips. And he tries to drive back. It's much like a Scrappy Doo, like, let me at him! He couldn't move me there. I just framed in his hips. But anyway, now we're back in this open guard, and he's on top. He grips up in the on my trouser legs, and he's going to try and see if he can do the same again, just turn to the side. I'm going to try and off balance him here. And here, I don't like going for heel hooks, and so I try to do a straight foot lock, but then I end up giving up a leg drag, and so I try to ditch the position altogether. But he's working more around to that side, and so I'm like, ugh, on my back again. This is getting a bit annoying. And so he's trying to get under my elbow, but what I'm doing is keeping my elbow tight. T-Rex arms, kind of like a basic little principle, trying to keeping that right knee up so he doesn't get to mount. But now he's gone to north-south. And so what I'm doing here is just keeping tight, keeping patient, and then working around, see if we can frame on his hips and then spin around to take guard again. And so that's what we do. But now I just did a gamble there to give up north-south, the back, and then trying to take top position. I was like, I've played on my back way too long, and I just want to get this Omoplata. When this thing on top, I've been mucking around at the bottom way too much, and so let's see how I can attack. And so here I'm staying heavy on the back and turtle. What I'm not trying to do is take the back and look for a choke. I'm trying to see if I can get him to hyperextend his arms, or extend his arms, so then I can secure them. So I've got that knee beside his hip there, and I'm just trying to play with that. Just trying to reach for that far heel to maybe push him back to get him to straighten out the other arm to base, but he doesn't. And so here, changing tactic again. He's protecting his neck from the choke, and I'm keeping my weight heavy on his hips and the back. And then what I'm going to try and do now is trying to work to get him to his back. And so I get one hook in, and so he's thinking the back, and so then he thinks half guard will be an advancement, but as he goes to his side, that's where I actually get the overhook, which I was looking for like 8 minutes. I finally got this overhook. I finally got the chance to get a solid Omoplata. So that's where I'm looking for now. I've got the control I wanted. And so he's in half guard, and he's looking to try and get underneath me to maybe get a butterfly, but I stuff the head, step over, and now I'm looking to attack the arm. And so he has swept in with air quotes here, but it's really I want to get over this shoulder with my leg, and that's what I've done. Now he's in panic mode and he's scrambling, and he's I'm just trying to hold him in place. It's just like little arm, big leg is just like tough, and he's positioned himself quite well, and I'm not in the angle to put pressure on his shoulder, and I'm thinking he can easily pop his arm out, and he just does just before I adjusted, and I'm ticked off at this point, and he tries to double leg me. Doof! Get off me. You're not taking me down. I was just so ticked off with myself. I lost that arm after working for it. Anyway, so we begin again. Protect your training partner principle. Remember that. And so he is beginning to try and put me into butterfly guard. Again, try to grip my collars and pull me down and get underneath me. But I'm wise to it, and I'm just staying low and staying central, trying to keep my center over him and stop him from getting to an angle or getting his head above mine to trap me and to sweep me to one side. So I'm just kind of burying myself here. I think I've got double lapel grip into his armpits. This is very difficult, annoying for him, and so I'm just kind of squashing his legs into his butt, and so it makes it very difficult for him to extend and to move me around. And so that's what we're kind of doing here. This is kind of like the again, like the laying and praying in MMA, just he can't move me because I'm just like being stubborn, and he can't get up because my controls and balance is there as well. And so as he tries to just square up again, and we're in this position, and I think the round is ending soon, but this has been a long one, and yeah, a good scrap. It's been a while since rolling with John, and we were just commenting there how difficult we were making it for each other. And so, no subs, no omoplatas this time, but it was a good exchange of position, technique, and so it was a good one. And thanks, guys, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next videos.